I'm Leah Hibbets, and today I'm going to talk about the smoking policy. So when I say about smoking policy, it's something which is more precise than that. So, for instance, in the United States, there are rules that are more restricted than others. When I say that, in the United States, there are some rules you can't smoke outside than other countries in Europe where you can smoke outside. So, smoking became such a big debate, especially in the United States. Smokers can already smoke outside, and some places outside, beginning of the 21st century, and became a global thing. But there are some places that are not a right to they have not the right to smoke, and we're going to talk a little bit further on that. So, is it a good idea or is it a bad idea to do that compared to when we compare it to the other countries who can smoke outside anywhere they want, even at the window of their house? Why would it disturb non-smokers for smokers to smoke if it's outside? What it would disturb the non-smokers? If you can smoke anywhere, what should you do? You can't stop a smoker to stop smoking like that. You can't legalize to smoke cigarettes, to smoke vapes, etc. So the first thing that we need to stop. Where you can smoke cigarettes is everywhere in the world, but we need to be more precise where we can say that smokers are in a freedom country. They can do whatever they want. Everyone can do whatever. You can be a non-smoker. You can be a smoker. It's completely up to you. It's your life. I mean, you do whatever you want. And the thing is that smokers have to be more respectful for non-smokers. They have to ask a person if it bothers the person them if they are smoking close to them. And for example, you are with a friend, you're outside, you're in a park, for example, or at a restaurant outside, and you don't really know your friend, and you say, "Does it bother you if I smoke cigarette?" If it's yes, then you go a little bit further, but you can't go literally on the other side of the road. And if it doesn't bother, then do whatever you want. You can't smoke. You're not gonna stop smoking for a person. And another thing, it became so, as I said at the beginning, it became a big deal in newspapers, TV, on the website, for example, in the FDA government, that tobacco became a big deal. Some younger people are smoking, etc. And but you're not gonna have the same rule, obviously, in states. You're not gonna have the same rule in Florida as you had it in California, for instance. For example, and in universities, more and more colleges don't allow smoking anymore. It became a free smoking area in many campuses. And if we take the example of Lynn University, there is a video on YouTube that says there is a voiceover that explains there are spots designated for smokers, which is, I think, a really good idea. So everyone can enjoy their thing. It doesn't bother. Not gonna bother non-smokers, and smokers can still smoke. I can't if smokers can't smoke in parks and public areas, where are they going to smoke? Basically, because we literally quoted almost all the main places where you can smoke. You can't stop allowing cigarettes. It's impossible. You cannot compare. You cannot say that a smoker and a non-smoker always have the same thing. This begins like that. Smokers will always find a way to smoke anyway, so non-smokers cannot say smokers have to stop, and they cannot say that it's going to be illegalized. Smokers already have limited access to smoke outside, and I mean outside is really a big place. I mean, it's a huge place. You have unlimited access. With the wind, with the air, the smoke is going away, and non-smokers can say they're in a way smokers because it is not. They don't have the same impact at all. And I don't, again, smokers don't bother non-smokers, so why non-smoker will bother smokers? It doesn't make any sense. So if non-smokers are saying, yeah, it's a question of property, you can't, blah blah, it doesn't make not a lot of sense. Property already concerns smokers and non-smokers. Non-smokers are concerned because they are throwing also trashes, beer bottles, plastic bags, cans, wasting food, etc. in parks. It already happened. It's happening actually a lot. And cigarette compared to that is not a lot. Okay, you're gonna say it's huge. It's the American for non-smokers, right? .org. They say it's almost 2 billion per year that cigarettes are wasted, but it's not the biggest. If we compare to, it's not the same thing. It's not a big importance such as the plastic bags, cans, which are way more wasted and they have such more impact in the world that we live today. So if we compare the way United States and in Europe smokers are, if we compare the rules, we can see that if you go, for example, for instance, the various groups of places where I'm from, so I can see it. If we compare that, there are a lot. You're gonna see, of course, a lot more smokers in Paris outside because they have the right to do it. In the United States, it's not well viewed already. If you're a smoker, you're not really well viewed if you're a smoker, but you really have restricted areas. And when I say restricted, it's literally this compared to Europe, where it's literally like this. It's not the same thing at all. It's not comparable. And if you and non-smokers especially in the United States, I saw that. That's from a personal experience. They're literally they're like, yeah, we are smoking too. You have to watch out and everything. They're really exaggerating their purpose, and we have to remind that there are 45% of smoker, which is almost half of it, which is a lot and not a lot at the same time in the United States, but for a big country it's kind of a lot, so you can't stop people to stop smoking. So the last thing that I want to say is that cigarettes should be allowed anywhere outside, like every other countries, like in Europe, like in France, everything. And there shouldn't be any problem because first of all, it's outside. Second of all, if you're not happy about it, you in parks, for example, it's a huge area. You should put the spot as Lynn University. If non-smokers do not want to smell, because I say they are smoking, they can go somewhere else in the park, for example, as I said, and so they're not going to be disturbed anymore, because I can understand also that they want to protect their kids, they want to protect their children, babies, old people, etc. Like in parks, for example, they are putting spots for kids, so why not we should put spots for smokers? That's a good question. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful day.